Now, from exam point of view, these are the chapters that you have to study in detail. So there are 11 chapters in all which you have to study, and whatever has come in the exam till now, I have covered everything in the previous sessions. So here I have mentioned again the topics that are important. So from this table, you have to know all the topics, but here specifically I have mentioned which adhyayas are there for your exam and what are the topics that are covered in every adhyay. So this is important. Then from first chapter, this part, who blows which shankha? That is important. They do ask questions from this also. That's it for the first chapter. Then second chapter, what is important is the knowledge of self or the knowledge of soul has been discussed over here. So you need to know that soul neither dies or can kill, or it can be killed. So here, Nayan, Hanti, na Hanyate. So in this chapter, whatever I have underlined or put it as bold, you have to remember, read these Sanskrit words also. They may ask you, this is from which chapter, or they may ask you, they may give these words and give the meaning in the next column and ask you to match the following. So for match the following also, you should know. So the exact meaning of these words you should know, and from which adhyay. So that is there. I have given the English meaning of each and every word after every shloka. Then from this chapter, another important thing that you need to know is Sthita Prajna. In which chapter the topic of Sthita Prajna comes? So it is in 6th chapter. So how is the soul? It is this is very important. How is the soul or Atma? All these words from exam point of view, you have to know. Achedya, Adhaya, Akletya, Ashoshya, Nitya, Sarvagataha, Sthanu, Achal, Sanatan. All these words. And the English meaning also. This is important. Then qualities of a soul. How is the soul? It is avyakta, achintya, and avikaryo. These three words along with their meaning is important from exam point of view. Then Deha and Dehi. What is Deha and what is Dehi? Deha is the body, and the soul that resides in the body is Dehi. Here I have already given you the question that the shlok and from which in this verse of Geeta, how about whose immortality is spoken of. So just go through these questions. I will share more questions with you. I have a folder with me. I will do that. Then here comes the definition. Yogastha Kuru Karmani Sangam Tyaktva Dhananjayaha Samatvam Yoga Uchyate. The first definition of yoga is in 2.48. What is yoga? The definition of yoga as per Bhagavad Gita. Then yoga karmasu kaushalam, second definition of yoga as per Bhagavad Gita. Very, very, very important. This is the third. Dukkha sanyoga viyogam. This is the third definition of yoga. Then Sthita Prajna has been discussed in this shloka 2.55. So what are the qualities of the Sthita Prajna? You should know why is he called Sthita Prajna. So these are all the qualities of Sthita Prajna. Dukkheshu, Sukheshu, Raga, Bhaya, Krodh. All these that I have given in the table, you should know the meaning of the Sanskrit words. Then about the senses, about the Indriya, question is asked. What are the nature of the senses? So you have to remember these words. Pramathini. Then prasabham. You have to remember. And in the exam, what they do is they will just twist the words a little. You know Pramathini, but what happens in the exam if they give primatha or pramitha and pramathi? You will get confused. So when you are learning or revising, remember the words as they are. They will twist the words a little and they will give it in the exam. So what is the sources of senses? That is important. Then the meaning, whatever I've given in the table I've specifically made for each and everything that is important from exam point of view. So you need to know their Sanskrit words that are there in the table. This sequence is very, very important. Very important from exam point of view. Select the correct sequence. Now, here I have given in English, but in exam they do ask the Sanskrit. They do give the Sanskrit words for this, and then they ask the sequence. So you need to know the Sanskrit words as well as the English words. Few questions are discussed over here. Then you need to remember who wakes during the night. The yogi is awake during the night. Then what is the difference between those who have controlled their senses and those who have not? Someone's mic is on mute, I think. Please switch off your mic. Then this shlok, nispruha, this word, nirmamo, nirahankar. These three words are very, very important. Spruha, nispruha, what is the meaning? Nispruha, nirmama, and nirahankar. So this entire verse, this entire shlok is very important. Please mark at your end to know the Sanskrit meaning and the Sanskrit verse also. Then what is Brahmi Sthiti? The question can be asked, what is Brahmi Sthiti? And the options can be given in the exam. We know the explanation is here that we have studied already, that one who is free from material desires. That means those who have no attachment to things that are there in the world, who is free from greed and ego. That state is called as Brahmi Sthiti. So you need to know them. What is Brahmi Sthiti? They will give you 4 options. And from that, 1 or 2 they might give from any other topic also, and then you will get confused. Oh, these look the same. But exact specific words, whatever have been used from Brahmi Sthiti, you have to select those words only. ये इसके करीब दिखता है, ऐसे से आंसर नहीं चलता है. They try to confuse you a lot. Then in the 3rd chapter, that is, there Bhagwan has discussed Karma Yoga and Lok Sangraha. So these 2 topics are very, very important. That every human being or everything in this world, living or non-living, they are made up of 3 gunas. That is Sattva, Raja, Tama. Karmendriyani Sayamya Manasa Smaranam. From exam point of view, you need to remember this. I've underlined it. That Karmendriyani Sayama, that means you have to restrain the external organ or the Karmendriya, the organs of action. And Manasa Smaranam, that means you should not dwell on the objects of the senses. Others, you should know the meaning, what it is. We know this. This word, stena, that also very important. Remember the Sanskrit meaning of it. Now, how was Brahma created? How was Anna created from Brahma? The sequence is also important. As how was it created? They ask in exam from Akshar Brahma, Ved, from Ved, then Karma Samudaya, then Yagya, then rain, then Anna. And from Anna, all beings were created. So this sequence is very, very, very important. If you are studying on your own, you are forming questions or preparing questions on your own, make a mixed sequence of it. ऊपर नीचे थोड़ा सा करके लेना है and then revise it when you're studying. Then aghayu, this word. So just go through this shlok, understand the meaning of this shlok, that what is a sinful life, what makes our life sinful, what is sins, and what to do to avoid aghayu, that is a sinful life. That was important. Nirashi, Nirashi, Nirmamo. These Sanskrit words. Vigata Jwaraha. These words. Please remember in the notes, I have specified everything that is important separately. So you will understand. Nirashi, know the meaning, free from desire. Nirmamo, detached from the objects we have. And Vigata Jwaraha, all the mental afflictions are called as Jwar. And exactly opposite of Jwar is Vigata Jwar. That means freedom from all the mental afflictions. So again, Nirashi, Nirmamo, and Vigata Jwaraha. Very important. Rag and Dvesh. Rag, we translate it as anger in a normal translation, but here in Sanskrit, rag means attachment. So if any question by any chance rag comes, then don't consider it this rag as anger. Raga is attachment. Remember this. Students do get confused in the options. Remember, rag means attachment and rag doesn't mean anger. Here, this sequence, very, very, very important. From Rajaguna, Kam arises. From Kam, Krodh. And from Krodh, what happens if a person gets angry? It destroys a man. The sequence is very, very important. Whatever sequence comes in any of the topics or subjects for net, you have to learn. They love asking questions in sequence. Put this in sequence. Even benefits, disadvantages for other topics also. Whenever you're studying, you're not used to studying or learning in sequence. But in net, sequence is very, very important. So learn everything one after the other only. So this sequence is very important. And from calm, Vivignan gets concealed. What happens due to calm or desire? They can ask and give 4 options. So the answer should be that Jnana gets concealed. Again, this stronger and subtler than the gross body are senses. Stronger than senses is our mind. Stronger than mind is buddhi, and stronger than buddhi is our ahankar. It is exactly opposite. We are going in the upward direction as per Sankhya. Evolution, the chart, if you look at it here, senses, then mind, then intellect, then ahankar. Again, it is saying that as we go towards Prakriti, it becomes stronger and stronger. Then from chapter 4, the sequence, very important. Please learn this sequence. How the knowledge was passed. This is very important. Then types of karma. How many types of karma are there? Because according to Patanjali Yoga Sutra, the types of karmas are different. In Bhagavad Gita, types of karma are different. So don't get confused. So according to Bhagavad Gita, there are 3 types of karma. Karma, vikarma, and akarma. In Patanjali Yoga Sutra, they have mentioned as Krishna, Shukla, Akrishna. But here, the bifurcation or the types of karma are different. Very important to remember. We do get confused क्योंकि exam में tension होता है, तो at times we do get confused. And what is the meaning of every karma? You need to know. They can ask you in just selecting the options, or they can ask you in match the following. What is the meaning of karma? So just See the correct answer. This is important. Then yagya, which yagya is best? Pranayam is discussed in which chapter? That is important. In which chapter pranayam has been discussed in Bhagavad Gita? So it is discussed in the fourth chapter, 4.29 and 4.30. Pran, Apan, and Kumbhak. All three are mentioned here. So remember, pranayam has been mentioned or discussed in the fourth adhyay. Then, how to attain jnana? These three words I had told you: pranipatena, praniprashtena, and sevaya. Remember these three words, they do give it for the options: pranipatena, praniprashnena, and sevaya. These three words. Then is fifth adhyay, karma sannyas yoga. From this chapter, who is free or who is mukta? That you need to know. Then in sixth chapter, very important, who is a yogarud person? They may ask the question, or they do ask the question, yogarud. This is from which adhyay? So we should know that yogarud has been discussed in the sixth adhyay. And what are the qualities of yogarud? Just like you need to know the qualities of sthita prajna, similarly, you should know the qualities of yogarud also. Both these topics are very important from exam point of view. And whatever the qualities have been mentioned, again, learn it in sequence. While learning, make it a point that whenever you are studying for any subject, for the NET exam, learn everything, every unit in sequence. So yogarud is very important in this adhyay. Then Gyan Vigyan. What is Gyan and what is Vigyan? What is the meaning? For us, Gyan is different. But according to Bhagavad Gita, when Bhagwan is explaining about Gyan, it is about the study of spiritual scriptures. So that you need to know. Then who is our friend and who is our enemy? That you should know. That when we conquer our mind, or those who conquer their mind, for them, the mind is a friend. And when it is an enemy, those who have failed to conquer their mind, then the mind is the enemy. This concept has to be very, very clear. It is asked in the exam, a friend and enemy. Then, who is Sreshta according to Bhagwan? It has been discussed here in 6.9. A little bit of yoga road, or you can say sthita prajna, the qualities are more or less the same, but the exact words you need to understand. Then dhyan, this topic is very important: place, asana, and process. Where should you sit for dhyan? What is the process? Then on what should you sit, like kush grass, deer, and cloud skin? The sequence is also asked in the exam. So initially the kush grass, then the deer skin, and then the cloth. They might give you, because you are learning granthas, so there at times their deer skin, instead of deer skin, the skin of another animal has been mentioned. So in exam, they might ask you the question related to Bhagavad Gita, and along with deer skin, they might give you the name of any other animal like lion or tiger. So don't get confused over here. In Bhagavad Gita, they have said deer skin. This is where children get confused in exam. Then Samakaya Shiro Grivam. We are yoga students and we always use these words. Samakaya Shiro Grivam. So this is in which chapter? You need to remember. And what is the meaning of it? Samakaya Shiro Grivam. Then how to control the wavering mind. That has been told and discussed over here. That our mind is very chanchal. It keeps running off the senses. So how to work on our mind, or how to control our mind? It is discussed in the 6th adhyay. And for that, Bhagwan has told us that Abhyas and Vairagya are the two ways to control our mind. What are the two ways to control our mind or senses? It is Abhyas and second is Vairagya. Then who attains to yoga? This is also very important. This shlok is very, very important. If possible, just learn this shlok. Yuktahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkha. Along with sthita prajna, yoga rood. Just learn few of the shlokas if you can. If you find it difficult, just understand the meaning of every Sanskrit word. Here again that definition has come. What is yuktam? Vidya dukha sanyoga viyoga. Now here the state of mind. How is our mind? Bhagavan has told, and then how to control our mind, that also has been mentioned. That practice and detachment, abhyas and vairagya, very, very, very important. Even in Patanjali Rishi has also specified this, that abhyas vairagyabham tan nirodha. How is the state of a yoga bhrashta purush? Yoga bhrashta, again very important topic. Sthita prajna, yoga road, yoga bhrashta. And in yoga bhrashta, again what is important is who gets birth where. So that is very important. Depending upon our sadhana, our practice in the previous birth, we get the next birth accordingly. So that has been mentioned over here, and that is very, very important. Yoga bhrashta topic. Then a yogi is superior to tapasvi. Who is superior to whom? This sequence. A yogi is superior to tapasvi, superior to jnani, and even superior to karmi. So a yogi is superior to all these three practitioners. With this, we complete our sixth adhyay. Now seventh adhyay, Prakriti, Ashtadha Prakriti has been discussed over here. Para Prakriti. Now, from this adhyay, what is very, very important is, first you should know that Prakriti and Vikriti has been discussed in the seventh adhyay. At your end, please note it down that Prakriti and Vikriti has been described or discussed in the seventh adhyay. That is one topic which is very important. And second topic as per seventh adhyay is Bhakta. In exam, they do ask which are the four types of Bhakta. Sequence, that is also asked. So, Artha, Arthartha, Artha, Jigyasu, Artharthi, and Jnani. You have to know the sequence. Arth, then Jigyasu, then Artharthi, and Jnani. And also the third question that is asked. First, they ask which chapter or in which chapter types of bhakta are discussed. This is the first. Second, which are the four types of bhakta? They can give you the options. Third is the sequence. Which bhakta is superior, or what is the sequence of the bhaktas? And according to Bhagwan, which bhakta out of the four is the best? That is asked in the exam. Very, very important topic. I have mentioned. I've just given you for an example question. Then is Adhyay 8. Now, this I just told you for you to understand what is the meaning of Brahma, Adhyatma, Karma, Adi Bhut, Adi Daiva, and Adi Yagya. I have just given it to you so that you should know the meaning of it. Here, what is important is, what is the symbol of Brahma? So, the symbol of Brahma is one syllabled Om. That is important. And what is day and night for Brahma? So, Sahasra Yug Paryantam. So, a day is 1000 cycles of the 4 ages. When I appeared, they had asked this question. So what they do is 100 cycles, 1000, 10,000 cycles. So they confuse you in this way. You have to remember that one day of Bhagwan is 1000 cycles of the 4 ages. It is 1000 cycles of the 4 ages. Remember both 1000 cycles and 4 ages. Both the things, remember this. It is not one age. Then we all know the names of all the Yug. Satyug, Tretayug, Dwapar and Kali Yug. We already know that. This I had given just for you to know as just an extra knowledge. Now, Vyakta and Avyakta, it comes in. Which chapter you should know? This again I had just given for you to know what are the names, because it will help you in other units also. Then what is Avyakta and what is Vyakta? Meaning of this you should know, because they will give it in the answer. 4 options you have to select out of this which is Vyakta or which is Avyakta. So you should know what is Avyakta and what is Vyakta. Meaning if you know, you will be able to take the correct answer. Uttarayan, Dakshinayan, again a very important topic. Question आता है इससे. What is Uttarayan and what is Dakshinayan? That is asked. This Prashnopanishad and everything, this I've just mentioned it for the extra knowledge. You should just know what is Uttarayan and what is Dakshinayan. And Uttarayan path, what does it lead to? It leads to moksha or death. You should know. In exam, they might ask you true or false, something like that. Or in match the following or correct. So Uttarayan, always you have to select the answer as moksha. Uttarayan, it leads to moksha, and Dakshinayan, it leads to death. Knowledge, you had asked me the question on this. Remember, so you will not forget the answer. So if you keep asking the questions, it is my experience that you will never forget the answer that you hear or that you understand. Then from Adhyay 9. In Adhyay 9, very important topic that is discussed here is Yoga Kshema. Very important topic in which Adhyay Yoga Kshema has been discussed. So it is the 9th chapter. And the meaning of Yoga Kshema. What is the meaning of Yoga Kshema? Whatever you have. To protect whatever you have. I secure for them that which is already not possessed by them and preserve what they have, they already possess. So whatever you have, Bhagwan will protect it. And whatever you don't have, Bhagwan will grant you. So Bhagwan takes care of both the things, and that is called as Yoga Kshema. Prapta or aprapta vastu. Then here I have mentioned it. Exact meaning, to possess what we didn't have and to protect what we already have. Very, very important from exam point of view. Yoga Kshema. Meaning of Yoga Kshema. Then it's 10th Adhyay. This they do ask at times, go on reading. Once you read, you will get the hang of it. This table that I have mentioned, because once or twice they have asked from here. This table. So just take a printout and just put it in front of you. So every time you study, just go through it once. Then is the next chapter, that is the 11th chapter, Vishwarup Darshan Yoga. Nothing more much about it. 12th Adhyay is very important. Bhakti Yoga has been discussed in 12th Adhyay. They do ask the question at times. Then what are the 2 types of Bhakt is also asked. Sagun and Nirgun. Then what is a Sagun Bhakt and what is a Nirgun Bhakt? And who is Sreshta? So these are the questions that might come in the exam, and you have to know the answer to this. In which chapter Bhakta has been described, the types of Bhakta, and which bhakta is superior. Which bhakta or sadhak he attains Paramatma. Now, here, these words are very, very important. I have highlighted them. Huh? Try, because it is all about what the absolute truth of Bhagwan. What is it telling? How to be a good bhakta, or how should be our thought process? What should we do? So this is very important. Then ways to attain Paramatma. Fix your mind on me. We all know that there is nothing here. Shaknosi. Path to attain God. This sequence is very important. And to learn this sequence, you have to understand or know the Sanskrit words for it. So these two shlokas, please read these two shlokas, know the Sanskrit words for it, and learn this in sequence, correct sequence. Then which is the Shrestha path? That is also very important. Question might come, what is the how Shrestha path? This sequence again, practice, knowledge, dhyan, detachment from fruits of object, and peace from renunciation. The sequence, I'm telling you, sequence, they love asking questions on sequences. So wherever you see a sequence, just learn it. Don't lose your marks on sequencing, because you feel so bad. We know the answer, but it is just that we didn't learn it or study it in sequence. Then you feel very bad. So whenever you are studying, just learn it in sequence. Next adhyay, Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Yog. What is Kshetra and what is Kshetrajna? You should know over here. We all know this Kshetra, it is made up of 24. We have already done in Sankhya. Then what according to Bhagwan is Gyan? What is Agyan? This you should know. That's it from this chapter, from my point of view. Three gunas, they are born out of Prakriti. What are the three gunas? That also we know. This table, whatever tables are there from this chapter onwards, very important. They do ask Sattva Gun. So they might give Prakash or Ragatmak, Agyan, and one more. You have to know that Sattva is Prakashak. It is illuminating. Rajagun is Ragatmak. Tamagun is Agyan. So like this, you have to remember the Sanskrit words. Sattva, Prakashak, Sukha Sangena, Badnati, Jnana Sangena. Here in this sequence only you have to remember. That's why I have made it in a table form, because it is very, very important. They do ask in the exam. And आपको confuse होता ही है. लोभ and प्रमाद, इसमें भी बच्चों को एग्जाम में कंफ्यूज होता है. They do get प्रमाद is what, रज और तम, because I don't know why, but we do get confused at times in exam. So be very clear. Pramad is always, in anywhere it comes, it is in tamas gun. And lobha is, it always comes, greed, it always represents rajagun. Remember that, because this is going to come in the next adhyay also. So this table is very important. Who is a gunatit person, or who is free from three gunas? Person eligible for Brahma Prapti. This topic is very important. You should know. Then 15th adhyay, people tree. This is asked in exam. Ashwath. The description of the people, which tree is described? It is the Ashwath tree, or the people tree. How to attend Parampad? Then what happens when the soul leaves the body? That is also something that you should read. Now, Vaishwanar, Chaturvidham, you should know the meaning of these. Vaishwanar means what? Chaturvid. What are Chaturvid? Which are the four types over here? This is asked in exam. Bhojya, Peya, Koshya, Leha. And you should know what is Bhojya, Peya, Koshya, and Leha. It might come as match the following also, and you have to match it. Which are Peya, which are Bhojya, which are Koshya. So this is a very important from exam point of view. Kuthastha, Akshar, Kshar. These words, you should know the meaning of these. With examples, we have discussed in detail. Then, wow, very important chapter, Daivasur Sampad Vibhaga Yog. Which qualities are discussed over here? Daivi and Asuri. In Daivi's qualities, in how many shlokas are they discussed? 3 shlokas. Huh? Important. And how many Daivi qualities are there? They do ask. So you should know 26 saintly or Daivi qualities. How many Asuri qualities are discussed? 6 Asuri or demonic qualities are discussed. Then you should learn these 3 shlokas by heart. Read them every day. Write it in your handwriting or take a printout, stick it in front of you, and every day just go on reading it. आपका जून तक आराम से लर्न हो जाएगा. You should know the sequence also and which are these 26 qualities along with the meanings. Very, very, very important adhyay. And in this adhyay, which are the demonical qualities that you have to know, and 3 doors to hell: Kama, Krodh, and Lobh. These are the 3 doors to hell. These 3 words are very, very important from exam point of view. Kam, Krodh, and Lobh. 3 doors to hell. 26 qualities. You need to know the name. Then you should also know one thing, that the Daivi qualities or Sampadai, they lead you to moksha, and Asuri leads you to bondage. Bondage means, again, after death, rebirth. Then Bhagwan has also told, let the scriptures be your authority. Who should be your authority to understand what is right and what is wrong? So Bhagwan has told that let the scriptures be your authority. So here, very important, again I am repeating because this is a very, very important topic. 26 qualities, Daivi Sampadai. All these qualities you should know by heart. Daivi Sampadai, it leads to bondage. Sorry, Daivi Sampadai, it leads to freedom. Asuri Sampadai, it leads to bondage. Then 3 doors to Narak. Which are the 3 doors to Narak? That you should know. I have missed the shlok of Asuri. Okay, I'll put one shlok of Asuri qualities. I think, I don't know how I missed it. You have to know the names of the 6 Asuri qualities also. Very, very important. So 26 Devi Sampadai, 6 Asuri qualities. Then 3 doors to hell. You should know the names of these 3 doors. And what should you do to avoid this? You should follow whatever has been written in the scriptures. Then Adhyay 17th, Satvik, Rajasic, Tamasic. These have been discussed over here. Shraddha, the 3 qualities. Now here, lot of topics, subtopics have been discussed, like which food. They have discussed about food. I have mentioned it in the table. Just read this table whenever you get time. Whatever I have mentioned in the table, very, very important. Sattvic food, Rajasic food, then Tamasic food. What is a Sattvic yagya, Rajasic yagya, Tamasic yagya, tap, and dan? Very important. You relate it to your day-to-day life, you will remember it. It is not difficult at all. And relate it to yourself also. Then you won't find it difficult. Then Om Tat Sat. What is the meaning and in which adhyay Om Tat Sat have been discussed. That is important. Others, rest of the things I have just given so that you will understand the meaning of Om Tat Sat. Then is 18th Adhyay. Remember, 18th Adhyay is the longest Adhyay. You should know which are the shortest Adhyay and which is the longest Adhyay in Bhagavad Gita. The topics covered over here is Sannyas and Tyag. What is sannyas according to Bhagwan? What is tyag according to Bhagwan? That you should know. Then, what is renunciation? What is sattvic renunciation, tamasic, and rajasic? That you should know. Sarva karma siddhi, very important topic. Sarva karma siddhi. So, which are the 5 causes? Remember this again in sequence. Adhishthan, Karta, Karana, Cheshta, and Daivam. Remember all these 5 names, Sanskrit words along with their meanings in sequence, and also in which Adhyay is Sarva Karma Siddhi discussed. It is discussed in the 18th Adhyay. This Brahma Sutra and everything I have just given for you to understand. Then factors that induce action, very important. Who induces karma or action? Jnana, Jnaya, and Parijñata. These 3 words, and Karana, Karma, and Karteti. These 3 words. So, who induces the karma or action? What are the 3 constituents of action or threefold basis of action or karma sangraha? This word, very, very important. Karma sangraha. So, Karan, Karma, and Karteti. You can remember, okay, just remember it like that. 18th Adhyay. Then is Trividha Gyan, again, Sattvic, Rajasic, and Tamasic. What is Trividha Gyan? What is Trividha Karma? You should know. What is Karta? Trividha Buddhi. You need not actually learn the shlokas, but if at all I have underlined or I have made bold, just read those words again and again. Then is what is Trividha Dhriti, what is Trividha Sukh. That is important. And very important, Varna. How many Varnas are there? Then which are the 4 Varnas? That is asked in the exam. And who does, like, how is their distribution or how are they segregated? Learn this, know this. Who does which work? That is also very important from exam point of view. Then who attains the Brahma or Brahma Prapti? These are the qualities. We all know these qualities. In the 18 Adhyayas, we have again and again gone through all these things. So it is just a summary of all the qualities that Bhagwan has been discussing again and again and telling Arjun. Here, who should not be given the knowledge of Gita and who should be given. Just read it once or twice. Very simple concept, and I think it is done. That is all that you should know from exam point of view. Okay, these are the important topics that I felt were important and you should know. Any questions that you want to ask me?
Ma'am, if asked which is the shortest adhyay, should we say chapter 12 Bhakti Yoga or there would be any other chapter?
The 12 and 15, both the chapters are the smallest. Both have 20 shlokas in it. So in the exam, they will either give 12 or they will give 15 chapter number. One of these. So which is the shortest chapter, which is the longest chapter, name of the chapters, topic covered in each and every chapter. All these things you have to know. Who give the knowledge to whom? That sequence is very important. Who blew which shankha? All this is the introduction. For introduction, all these things are the base and they do ask question from this. So don't lose marks on such questions where we know the answer very well, and we know that question is going to come from there. Okay. Yes, Babita ji. Babita ji, please unmute yourself.
Okay. Hello. Ma'am,
Yeah.
as you mentioned that the questions in the exam will be in a sequence, like it is similar to the syllabus which is given to us for the net syllabus. Is it like that? Like, because Bhagavad Gita is Unit 2, Paper 2. So the questions will be according to the syllabus as per the net syllabus.
See, questions from Bhagavad Gita, whatever we have covered, huh? Questions will come from that only 99%. I have covered everything from where questions have been coming and what I thought is important. I have covered everything. Other than that, 19%, nothing will come. There is 1%. Of course, there's a chance that they might ask something from some other adhyay. But sequencing, you have to learn everywhere. It is not only for Bhagavad Gita, for all the topics, for all the units, whichever topic you are doing, you have to learn everything by in sequence only. For example, even advantages of suppose Mahamudra, you have to learn it by sequence, in sequence only. You cannot just learn it randomly, because we are used to learning things randomly, right? Sequence is not important in any other exam, but from net point of view, adhyay, then what is covered in the adhyay, everything you have to learn in sequence. As possible, as much as possible, learn everything in sequence. Make it a habit for the next, whatever, 5-6 months till the exam.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, and you can, okay, we are done with it, but if at all you have any queries, you can ask anything. Okay, anytime. You can just WhatsApp me on my personal this thing also. You can DM me and ask, or you can ask in the group, whatever you are comfortable.
Ma'am, I have sent some questions to you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So the
And
questions will cover tomorrow.
yes, sure. But how many bhaktas are there? It is Navada Bhakti that will be discussed, or how many types of bhaktas? So, what will be the
Yeah,
answer?
Navada Bhakti. Yeah, Navada Bhakti doesn't come in this Bhagavad Gita. It does not. Whatever has been discussed in Bhagavad Gita, learn as per that. Navada Bhakti is in, I think, Unit 1. It has been discussed over there.
Okay,
So
ma'am.
your questions, when you're forming here only for tomorrow, when you're forming questions, form according to Bhagavad Gita. Whatever topics are covered, like I said, that karma, types of karma in Bhagavad Gita is different, and in Patanjali Yoga Sutra is different. So in the exam, they will specifically ask you as per this, as per that. They will just not ask you randomly. They will be clear in it. That types of karma according to Bhagavad Gita, or types of bhakti according to Bhagavad Gita. They will be very specific. If they're not specific, then you will just get 2 marks, because it's either a doubtful question or wrong question. So they will take it will go as a challenge. But in exam, be they'll be very clear, and you should also be very clear for whom, from which unit this question has asked, and answer accordingly. Don't get confused when bhakti is asked. See if the bhakti is asked, types of bhakt or bhakti has been asked from Bhagavad Gita or any other unit, which topic it is. There are a lot of common topics and they keep overlapping. So while studying, do a little bit of comparative study also. That here also the same topic has come, but what is the answer? Here also same topic has come. Just like you are studying granthas right now, right? So you are doing a comparative
Yeah,
study
ma'am,
between.
I'm seeing
Yeah.
the Bhagavad Gita chapter. So, in the syllabus, it's uh, Bhagavad Gita Bhakti Ka Swarup Adhyay 12. Bhakti Jog. That means Bhakti ka prakar Adhyay 7. So that's I'm asking types of bhaktas.
Which chapter you are saying?
7th chapter.
Huh? And what is the question?
In the syllabus, it is written Bhakti ka prakar Adhyay 7
Hmm?
and Bhakti ka Swarup
Hmm?
Adhyay 12 and Bhakti
Yeah,
Jog
so Bhakti
के
Prakar.
साधन और साध्य त्रिगुण और प्रकृति का स्वरूप त्रिविधा भक्त chapter number 14 and 17.
Yes.
Okay.
So for Bhakta ke Prakar, in chapter 7, we have discussed that there are four types of Bhakta. Right? Artharthi, Artha, Jigyasu, and Jnani. So if types of Bhakta they come in the exam, as per Adhyay 7, there are four types of Bhakta. Then Upasak or Yoga Veda or two types of Bhakti. Then it is Sagun Bhakti and Nirgun Bhakti. So that is an Adhyay 12. That also will be very specific when they're asking. So Bhakti, which Adhyay, you will get confused. So make a chart. Just like I had made a chart in the starting, what topics come under which Adhyay? Because honestly, when I was doing my mock test, even I went wrong over there. I got confused. जहाँ पे अभी आप confused हो रहे हैं ना कि भक्त क्या लिखना है, in which chapter, whether I should mark it as 7, whether I should mark it as 12, which adhyay I should mark it. So wherever it is confusing for you, see to it that you specify when you are studying that this comes in here. So here, if Prakar has been told, which are the four bhaktas? Here, if they've asked the same thing, what is it? What comes under this? Be very specific when you are taking out your notes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
Ma'am,
Yes.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
actually there are so many because starting from chapter 2, because what the syllabus, the chapters which are included for the net exam, they are
Yes.
almost more than 12, and there are
Mhm.
too many information. So you have any guidance that how we should study every day, like how we should maintain to study that at least we should be able to remember that all. Is there any way to study like? I find it very, I don't understand. There are too many information and how to remember it.
Right, exactly. That is a problem. And though they have mentioned, honestly, Babita ji, though they have mentioned, okay, these are the only adhyas for exam, they do ask from other adhyas also. That's why we have covered. Um, to start with, when you start studying now Bhagavad Gita, if you are starting, okay, first just learn or understand the general concept of it, whatever I have mentioned as an introduction. How many parvas are there, how many adhyayas are there, which topic comes from it, and how many shlokas are there. Take out a printout and just stick it in front of wherever you sit for studying and go through it. There are certain topics for that syllabus which you will have to revise every day, because there's too much of learning in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so especially shlokas. For shlokas, so done. I'll send you the group the photo. हम लोगों ने थोड़ा सा एक शॉर्टकट किया था. Okay, so I'll send you the trick also. We have
Okay.
to remember how many shlokas come in which chapter, because that is again a headache. 18 वो याद रखना, and we do get confused in it. So I will just send it to, even learning the adhyay also, we had learned it with a trick. I will send you that also. How to remember in sequence, because adhyayas also you have to remember in sequence. I'll search and I'll send that also. But Babita ji, honest,
Okay, ma'am.
especially Bhagavad Gita, Patanjali Yoga, I love Patanjali Yoga Sutra also. These are the topics which you can actually relate to yourself. Like I said, after 13th adhyay, there are tables and there are little bigger than other adhyayas. So, Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic, try to relate it to you or any other person in your family or friend in which you find those qualities. Are you getting what I'm just saying?
Yes,
So
yes, yes, ma'am.
and yeah, and in the
Yeah.
exam, you will remember, you relate it with them. It will be easier for you to remember, because other topics like Hat Pradipika and everything you have to learn. Upanishad you have to learn. But Bhagavad Gita is something that if you understand and if you relate it with something else, it is easier for you to remember. So from
Okay,
13
I'll
chapter
try.
just try to relate. और हर एक इसमें हर एक जैसे I told you, every person, Bhagwan has also told that every person has these three qualities. Try to identify. It is not you are judging or anything. From study point of view, for you to remember what is sattvic, what is rajasic, and what is tamasic. Take one topic, maybe that today you are going to understand the food. What is sattvic food, rajasic food, and tamasic on the entire day. Okay, whatever you eat or whatever people around you eat, see which type of food it is. You will understand that topic. Similarly, karma and rest of the things. For everything, take 1 day, and for the whole day now, during that day, try to relate. So it is not studying, you are relating it, so you will remember it throughout your life. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Nikita ma'am, Nikki ma'am is there. Chalo, see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow is a question answer sessions. You are going to ask each other. Please remember, even I have some questions, even I will ask if I get time, otherwise I'll send it in the group. Those who have not messaged me the questions, please do it so I can send the PDF. I have already sent it to Babita ji and Rama Ballav ji all. Rest of the people, please send me the questions. It is for you. Please try to understand. It will
Ma'am,
help.
here in the
Yes.
syllabus, the Arjun Vishad Yoga, it's not clearly
Hmm.
mentioned Arjun Vishad Yoga. सिर्फ भगवत गीता meaning and the terms, meaning of the terms आत्मस्वरूप, स्थित प्रज्ञ, सांख्य, this much. सांख्य yoga is second chapter.
I didn't understand your question, sir.
फास्ट मैंने फर्स्ट चैप्टर है नहीं ना वो सिलेबस में. Only
Yeah, right.
only the meaning of
Ma'am, he is trying to tell that first chapter there is only terms and there is only meaning. A few pointers are given. So one has to study that, right? Like his question is
Yes.
that.
Okay. Yes, from the
only
first chapter.
introduction part, general introduction part is there.
Yes, general introduction that you have to learn. Okay, 1 minute. See, you have that the notes that I have shared. From that, what you have to learn, the general 18 chapters. How many parvas are there? Bhagavad Gita, it comes in which parva? Okay. Then discussion between whom and whom. First shloka, who said last shloka, how many shlokas are there? Prasthantraya, whatever table I have given as general, those things. Then first 6 chapters, what does it contain? Next 6 and next 6. That those bifurcations, and specifically from first chapter, who blew which shankha. Don't forget that. Don't forget who blew which shankha from first chapter. That is the only part that is important. From first, nothing else is asked from the first chapter. So after introduction, from first chapter, only who blew which shankha. Remember that. You will get 2 marks for that. Okay. चलो.
मैम सारा चैप्टर तो है नहीं ना उसमें.
नहीं. And there is nothing to ask also from the first chapter. There is nothing else.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. See you all tomorrow. Hari Om.
Thank you, ma'am.